Hey there, my name is Daniel with Silver Sun Gaming, and today I will be playing Pirates of the Cursed Seas Pocket Model game. This is going to be a solo play game where I just control both fleets. Over here on the left, we've got an English fleet featuring the HMS Apollo and the Aberdeen Baron. And over here on the right, we have a French fleet showcasing the Conquerant and Libellule. I will post the fleet compositions in the description of the video. So one of the ways I like to play this game is I have each player choose 9 pieces of terrain. So in this case, the English have chosen to supply 2 whirlpools, 2 fog banks, 2 reefs, and 3 Sargasso seas. The French have decided to contribute 2 whirlpools, 2 fog banks, and 5 reefs. The treasure distribution in this game is the standard array of 8 coins with a total combined value of 15 gold. The English are contributing 1 3, 5 2s, and 2 1s. And the French will be contributing a 4, a 3, 2 2s, and 4 1s. Now to set the game up, I'm first going to roll to determine which side goes first. So I have these 2 dice, a red die and a blue die. Red will represent the English, and the blue will be the French. We'll roll highest goes first. So, it looks like the French go first with the 6. Now to set this game up, I'm going to shuffle all of the terrain together, flip them over to their island sides. And then I'm going to deal 3 islands to each player. And they will then be placed as islands. And the rest will be placed as terrain after the islands have been placed. This will be a flat earth game, so ships can't move over the edge of the playing area. And I'm going to demarcate this line as an edge to the play area on this side of the map. Everywhere else, if it goes off the map or off the edge of the table, that's an edge. So France is going to place the first island. I think they're going to place it right here where these lines intersect. Now England is going to place its next island. And the limitation to this is it can't be closer than 3L, or the long side of the card, and it can't be any further than 6L from its nearest island. So I'm going to place this one probably over here. I'm going to put it at the very extreme of 6L. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and place it right there. Now France gets to place its second island. And I think France is going to put it over here. I'm just going to check the distance here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's within 5L, and I think we'll just keep it there. I've got no rhyme or reason for deciding where to put anything just yet. There's a bit of a meta game for island placement, but I'm not going to go too much into that in this video. So England is going to place its second island about right here. Go about 4L exactly from that island. 1, 2, 3. We're good. France will place one right here. I'm going to try for about 3L from at least one of these islands. 1, 2, 3. So we see that's not a legal placement because it's too close to this island, but we can move it about here, and we'll see where this goes. 1, 2, 3. It's just about perfect on 3L from both. Alright, and England's final island placement is going to go about right here, I think. Put it all the way over on this edge. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can fit 3 cards between there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Now, the remaining 12 islands are going to be placed as terrain. randomly dealt to each player, and then we'll just play as we go. Now the placement for terrain is it can't be within S or the short side of the card of any other island or piece of terrain. So what I'm going to do is France is going to start placing its terrain. It's going to place its first terrain, which is a whirlpool. Now, as a general rule of thumb, I like to place my terrain as close as possible to the islands. Whirlpools are a little bit of an exception to that rule because they act as teleporters, allowing you to move across the map. So you don't necessarily want them next to an island. Sometimes you do. For example, if you're planning to put, if you want one next to your opponent's home island so you can quickly attack it and get out of there, that's a plan you could do. But otherwise, there's not much advantage to placing them next to an island. So I'm going to say, I actually want to put this one about right here between all of these islands. That way, you can't just pop out of it and just get to an island immediately. Alright, England's trying to place a terrain, and we're going to place a fog bank. And I think I'm going to put this fog bank probably right here between this island and the whirlpool. That way, any ship that comes out coming toward this island, they'd have to sail around it. Alright, now it's France's turn, and we're placing another whirlpool. Actually, that whirlpool placement was just about where I'd like it anyway. Alright, now England's turn. They are going to place the first reef of the game. Now, this is where you want to start thinking about where you want to put your opponent's home island. And reefs are a great blockade for that. So, for example, England goes second, so they get to choose France's home island first. And I think this island over here is kind of where England is eyeballing because it's off by itself. It's not near any other wild islands. The two closest are these two here, and which means if France is here, England is going to end up on one of these 5 islands over here, probably this one because it's the furthest from all other islands. So we'll have to consider that. Of course, France also does have this whirlpool here, which can help get to the other islands. But I think we'll work on that idea. So if we're going to put France here, let's make it a little troublesome to get to this whirlpool quickly. We'll put this reef directly between it and the island. I'll have to rotate that just a little bit so we fit. All right. Okay, so now it is France's turn to place a terrain, and we have yet another whirlpool. So, France is going to be thinking, where is England going to put me? Looking at the table, these 2 islands are probably the most likely candidates for any home islands. Actually, this one might actually be a decent candidate too, now that I think about it. Just looking at this table, I'm not sure where France actually wants this whirlpool. What we could probably do is actually put it about right here. That'll grant this island a little more access to the islands out there. I think that's a good plan. Alright, so now it's England's turn. And we are placing a fog bank. I think we should fog up another island. Now, I think we're still planning on putting France here. Fog banks can be a bit of a double-edged sword. It can be a nice defense, but it can also be troublesome if you have an enemy ship hiding in the fog to catch your gold runners that are coming home. But it can also act as a good defense for you to hide your ships in. For example, if you can make it to the fog bank before going home, it's a good way to protect your ships. What I'll do is I think I'll fog up another wild island. I will fog right here between the whirlpool and the island. All right, France is going to place its first Sargasso Sea. Now, because France has 3-mast ships, they've got about a 50-50 chance of getting entangled in a Sargasso Sea or running aground on a reef. But also the English 5-masters will be able to sail through it with almost no issues. There's a 1 in 6 chance of them actually getting tangled up. So the placement of the Sargasso Sea for France is probably going to inform the English player of where they might like to actually have their home island. Or they can make it irrelevant by putting it on the backside of an island where ships aren't necessarily going to be. And I think they will do that. We're going to put the Sargasso Sea back here, where it's not going to do a whole lot. England gets another fog bank. Now, I don't think we can fit this here. No, we can't. There's not enough room, but maybe I can fit it right here. No, it's not going to fit between here. So, England should also be careful with the way they're fogging too, because France can put them on a fogged island as well. As I said earlier, that's not necessarily the best thing, because it can be a double-edged sword. I think France will fog up this island over here. Put it a little bit out of the way. Yeah, we'll do there. Alright, we're going to throw a reef down for France. France is going to put that right here. England gets another reef. Probably slap this reef down between these two islands. That sounds like a good idea. Alright, final terrain for France is a reef. I think we'll put it over here. And finally, a reef for England. I think we'll just kind of reef up over here. I'm good with that. All right, so now, with England going second, they get to decide the home island for France. I think we'll go with that plan. The original plan, we'll put France right here, and France is going to place, I think I'll place Libellule right here. Because it's a wind catcher, she can actually start her turn, or start her move from her stern instead of the bow. So that'll give her almost a full L toward this island here. I think that's a good plan there. And then we will just take the Conquerant with the flame strike cannon attachment, place her in such a way that she can just kind of sail forward. She'll probably sail around this way or toward the whirlpool looking for trouble with the English. And speaking of the English, France is probably going to place them on the opposite side of the map. We'll take England. We'll stick the Aberdeen Baron there. She'll kind of target that island over there. Then I will take HMS Apollo. We'll probably try to sail through the reefs and go this way. Or sail around the reef, sorry, go here. Alright. So now we've got a little bit of a game plan. Finally, we're going to shuffle up all of this treasure here and disperse it amongst the wild islands. Now, the winner of this game will be the first fleet to unload 16 or more treasure at their home island. Okay, now that the treasure has all been dispersed, we can start the game with France's turn. Now, the first thing France is going to do is France is going to activate her ability, which is once per turn, roll a d6. On a 5 or 6, this ship can be given an extra action. Also, Mademoiselle Josephine Godiva has the ability to link to any French crew during setup, and that French crew is going to be the captain. But I'm going to leave the French crew face down. In a normal 2-player game, the players would announce that there are links present on their ships, even if they're face down. But they don't have to reveal which specific links. However, because Godiva is an ability, she kind of has to announce that it's going to be this French captain, but not necessarily which ship it's going to be on. But since it's there, it kind of broadcasts to the opponent that this link is present. So I'm just going to reveal as captain now. And then over here, HMS Apollo has a link to Thomas Gunn. Of course, Gunn is face down at the moment, but I would still announce there's a link present, but not necessarily that it's Thomas Gunn, because these two crew could still be linked in a way that they wouldn't necessarily be Thomas Gunn and whatever else that other crew is. And then there's also a link here on Aberdeen Baron between Hermione Gold and Trevor Van Tyne. Again, the specific won't be announced, but there is a link present on this ship. Okay, so now let's begin. So beginning with Conquerant's EA roll, extra action. We'll roll, and we got a 1. But thanks to Mademoiselle Josephine Godiva, we can re-roll that and use the second die result, which is a 4. So we only get 1 action this turn for the Conquerant. Conquerant will be revealing her Helmsman, so she can get an extra S to her base move. So her base move is S plus S, and she'll get another S for the Helmsman. So she's going to move S and try to avoid this reef here. So we'll go S, and then we'll go S into the whirlpool. Now, had she gotten that second action, she probably would have gone into the whirlpool and popped out over here. Or actually probably over here to hopefully get, over here to hopefully get a line on the HMS Apollo. And then Libellule is also going to reveal a crew. She's got a Helmsman, so for another S. So she's got an S plus L plus S. You have to do your printed base move first, but if it's a combination like S plus L, it can be in any order as long as it's printed on the plate. Then I do the S from the Helmsman. If I do my second S before I do my L, I will lose it. So I'm actually going to start with that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to begin my measurement at the back. The ship will flip and sail forward L. Then we will sail forward 1S and 2S. We'll keep going in a straight line, I think. Probably target this island, and then we'll see what Aberdeen Baron does. I might see what's over here, then fly over here to see what's on that other island. Maybe swap out some 1s for some larger value coins. Alright, I think that's France's turn done. I forgot to send these over here. Now it's England's turn. England is going to reveal Commander Spencer Portland. Similar to the Conquerant, I roll a d6. On a 5 or 6, I can give the ship the same action twice. So, Conquerant can be given any action for her second action, but HMS Apollo has to be given the same action as the first one. I'm also going to reveal Thomas Gunn. Because Thomas Gunn is both a captain and a helmsman, I will be able to move S plus S. I'm going to roll for Commander Spencer Portland. We're going to see if we can get a 5 or 6. I don't have a reroll on this ship, so Conquerant's going to typically get more extra actions than I will, on average. So this unfortunately does not work. So I'm only going to move 3s. Let's go like this. Skirt the edge of this reef. We're going to sail on this way. Go toward this island here. Aberdeen Baron is going to reveal Hermione Gold, which is also going to broadcast that this crew is Trevor Van Tyne, though not specifically which version. Hermione Gold is just like Thomas Gunn, where she is a captain and a helmsman. So again, I get 3s to my base move. I'm going to move my first S, my second S, my third S toward this island here. And now we go back to France. Now, we've got a decision to make with the Conquerant here. And I think we'll make that decision here in a minute. I'm going to actually start with Libellule. So Libellule is going to first... Well, first we're going to see how close Aberdeen Baron is to this island over here. Not yet close enough to make it next turn. So what we could potentially do is I could send Libellule, try to get her on this side of the island. Aberdeen Baron's going to try to get over here. But I'll be closer with my L and 2S, plus the length of my hull going toward this island. Now, that can also be dangerous because now France knows that Aberdeen Baron has a captain. So it can move and then immediately shoot. But the cannons on Aberdeen Baron are pretty bad. It's got 1 3 and 4 4s, so it's got a 50% chance of hitting with the front cannon, and then a 33% chance hitting with the other 4. But this is also Trevor Van Tyne, so it could be the 2-point musketeer version, which, looking at the point cost of all these others, is easy to deduce. Because there's only 2 points left in the entire fleet, now that we know what's left. So, with that in mind, I'm not entirely certain it's worth it to engage the Aberdeen Baron. But considering that, that also brings up the idea of pulling the Conquerant over here and potentially dealing with the Aberdeen Baron. And I think that's going to be determined by a roll of the dice, making sure if we can get the second action, we can probably just send the Conquerant through the whirlpool over here and then just throw an immediate attack on the Aberdeen Baron, and that will probably cost England the game if I can take her completely down. Because it's the main gold runner of the enemy fleet. HMS Apollo has only 1 cargo space remaining after accounting for the Oarsman not taking up any space, and Thomas Gunn being a link and effectively not taking up space. Yeah, I think we'll make that decision. So, if we can get that second action, Conquerant is going to come flying out of this whirlpool and attack the Aberdeen Baron. If not, what I'll probably do is come out of this one and potentially challenge HMS Apollo for this island over here. So let's make the roll. See if we can get that second action. We've got 2 chances to get it. And hopefully I can get it this first one so I can save the reroll later for my face down equipment. So that is a fail. That's a 2. Come on, 5 or 6. No. Alright, so I think what we're doing now is we are going to pop out of this whirlpool. So clearly I can move into there. I'm going to place there. It's kind of a dangerous position, to be completely honest, though, because if we go here, 2, 3, and if they get a second action, I'm a sitting duck. So this is a very risky play for France. In fact, I think both are kind of risky plays. So maybe what I'll do is I'll actually come out this way. And we'll see what England does. All right, now, Libellule. I think since I'm fighting over this island, I'm willing to let the Aberdeen Baron have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to park over on this side of the island and then come over this way. See what I can get. So let's start by kind of moving over here. And then we'll move here, and then we'll point that way. As we dock, I'm going to reveal my Explorer. So I have 6 cargo space minus 2 for my crew, so I can carry all 4 of these. We'll just see what I got. Now, England doesn't know what I'm carrying over here. So I've got a 3, a 2, and 2 1s. I'm going to load all of them. And I'm going to play England like I don't know what Libellule just picked up. All I know is there's at least 4 gold on that ship now. And with that, France's turn is over. England is going to take the helm. And we're going to roll for Spencer Portland's SAT. Let's see what we get. We got a 4, so no second action. I think England's best bet right now is going to be to go hide in the fog. We can probably go try to support the Aberdeen Baron. Because we know this has a captain. And if I come here and explore this island, Conquerant's simply just going to come in and start wreaking havoc on the ship. So I think what we're going to do... Yeah, actually, I think our plan right now might just be to go support the Aberdeen Baron, just in case it gets its extra roll. Although if it does get its extra roll, it could probably just pop out, attack anyway. But at the very least, England will have a warship in the area to potentially deal with that. So I think we're going to leave this island alone for now. And I'm going to turn around. And probably sail this way. Get some support that way. Conquerant can't really do much other than just look at what's on that island. But we're going to continue sailing this way. Unfortunately, we're not able to get all the way there as we pre-measured earlier. And now we go back to France. France is going to roll for 2 actions on the Conquerant. That is a fail. It's another 2. And that's a 6. We do have our 2 actions now. So... now, with 2 actions, I can take the Conquerant and look at this treasure still, or I could probably hunt down the Aberdeen Baron and at least inflict some damage. But if I focus solely on that, Apollo might come in and retaliate. So maybe I just go after the Apollo. Because Libellule is doing fine all by herself just finding treasure. And that might be something England might actually need to consider next turn, is maybe using the Whirlpool. And actually, that's an important note. I forgot to roll for the Conquerant's use of the Whirlpool previously. Let me do that now. We got a 6. Now, in the standard rules, 4, 5, or 6 is a bad thing because that means your ship loses a mast or a crew. But I prefer using the house rule of low rolls cause you to do that, because everything else, a low roll is bad. So I'm going to apply that here. And I also allow whirlpools to eliminate equipment in my games. Okay, so now that we've retroactively dealt with that, let's figure out what the Conquerant's going to do. Actually, let's start with Libellule, because that's just going to... we know exactly what that one's going to do. We're just going to sail forward toward this island over here. And I think what she's going to do next turn is probably dock with her stern pointing at home. See what we can do here. I have the 2 actions. I think I'm going to attack the HMS Apollo. So I'm going to move through the Whirlpool. And then I'm going to remember this time to actually roll for it. So we're looking for 4 or better. And that is a success, so I don't lose anything coming out of the whirlpool. And because I still have a second action, I can actually use my ship. Now, since it's an extra action, I can choose what action it's going to be. It's going to be a move action, which is also going to allow me to shoot with my captain. So I'm going to sail forward. And I'm going to get a little closer. That way I can have all of my guns bearing on the HMS Apollo, including my flame strike cannon. I'm also going to reveal the fire shot on the Conquerant. So I have two ways of dealing fire damage to the ship, which can be devastating. Now, the cannons on the Conquerant, the Flame Strike is always going to be a 3S on bombardiers. Then my front and back masts are short range rank 2s. And my middle mast, I guess it's the front mast, because that's where it's printed on the ship. And the way the rules deal with discrepancies between ships and cards is if all the cannons on the ship match those on the card, but they're in the wrong order, just follow the order on the ship. So we've got one long in range and two short in range. They're all 2s. So I'm going to start with my flame strike cannon. If I hit, I replace a mast with a fire mast, or if I roll a 1, my flame strike cannon jams until I repair it. So we're looking for 4 or better, and absolutely not a 1. We got a 4, so that's a hit. I also forgot to place this exploration marker over here. Alright, so now we get to replace one cannon, or one mast, with a fire mast. And probably make that the mizzen mast here. And then we have 3 rank 2 cannons. And I think I'm going to just try to take as much out as I can, because HMS Apollo is a bit of a scary ship. Alright, so we're looking for 3s on these next 3 rolls. So the first roll is a 2, which is a miss. A 6 is a hit. And a 4 is a hit. So we've got 2 more hits from the Conquerant onto the HMS Apollo. So we'll take off the jib mast, and we'll take out the main mast as well. All right. And just for looks, we'll just kind of... This mast won't burning. We'll set this aside. Okay. Oh, I meant to make one of those a fire shot. Oh well, that's too bad. I'll say it was the first one that missed. Okay, now it's France's turn over. We're going to switch over to England now. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to first explore with the Aberdeen Baron. England needs to start getting some treasure over here. I think England's best way to try to get treasure is to point this way. We're going to look at all the treasure. Looks like we've got 2 2s and 2 1s. Not a good haul at all, but we can carry them, so we'll take them all. We'll also place an exploration marker on this island, and we'll see about getting the Aberdeen Baron over here to replace a couple of those 1s with bigger numbers. And now we need to look at the Aberdeen or the HMS Apollo. We're going to roll for Commander Spencer Portland. We need that second action. We got it with a 6. Good. Now we need to roll for that fire mask there. On a 1 or a 2, the fire will spread. On a 3 or a 4, nothing will happen. And on a 5 or a 6, we put out the fire. So we're looking for a 5 or a 6. 3 or 4 will be fine, but we absolutely do not want 1 or 2. Let's see what we get. We got, of course, we got the 2. We will replace another mast with a fire mast. Unfortunately, that's going to make the second action terrifying. So this first action, I think we'll just spend shooting back. And it is a 3 rank cannon. So we're looking for a 4 or better to hit. No, it's a miss. Okay, with our second action, we have to roll for these fire masks again. I'm just going to roll both dice. Looking for 5s and 6s. I absolutely do not want to see a 1 or a 2 here, because otherwise my ship is the HMS Apollo will be down for the count. 2 6s. Both the fires go out. That's good. So now my second action, I'm going to do this a little dangerously, but I'm going to ram the Conquerant. I think it's going to actually point like that. Okay, so what that's going to do, first I get to shoot. We're going to see if we can get a 4 now. Come on, 4. Nope, it's a 2. It's a miss. Okay, now we have to roll to resolve our ram, and we need to roll a 4 or better because the ship still has 3 masts. Okay, we got that with the 5. So we're gonna get rid of the mizzen. Get rid of that. Boom. Now we're going to resolve the boarding party. Commander Spencer Portland means my crew can't be eliminated unless she sinks. So for now, I've got nothing to lose if I lose this boarding party. So I'm going to roll the dice. Again, red is England, blue is France. We'll add our masks to the value. So France effectively has a +1 against England. And France wins with a 7-1. But because I don't have any treasure and my crew are protected by Spencer Portland, nothing happens as a result of losing. And that will be that for the English. Now we go to the French. Actually, I probably played that wrong for the English. I probably could have just gone straight home and started repairing instead of attacking. That way I'd at least have something to do. But as it is, France is probably going to take down the Apollo now. Fortunately, Baron is set up as a bit of a hybrid, so at least England still has a little bit of a chance, just not much of one. So I think our plan right now with France is going to be to move here and then point this way, so we can try to explore this island on a future turn. So we're going to explore with our explorer. Move an exploration marker. Okay, so we've got a 4, a 2, and 2 1s. And currently on board, we've got a 3, a 2, and 2 1s. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop off these 2 1s, take the 4 and the 2. That's going to bring our total up to 11 gold. We're going to leave these 4 1s back over here. We can go pick them up later. And actually, I think that might be the best thing to do. No, it won't be the best thing because it's only going to get us to 15. I think the best plan might be explore here, drop, if I can find another 3 over here, drop off the 2s, or drop off at 2, I'll have 12 gold to take home. Then I can come back, grab the other 4 treasure here, and just go home and win the game at 16. Okay, next we're going to roll for the Conquerant. Is a 1. Let's go for a reroll with Josephine Godiva. Nothing. Just so I can get the Flame Strike Cannon in there too. I'm going to move to the side of the Apollo. And I actually don't necessarily want to sink the ship. I can probably just take it home. So I am going to roll 1 at a time. I'm going to start with, I'm just going to use my 2s for now. I'm going to see if I can at least derelict the ship. Actually, because of the Oarsman here, that's not going to happen. So I think I do have to sink the ship. So let me just roll for my 2s. So I'm looking for 3s. And I got 1 of them. And the Flame Strike Cannon can't sink. So, oh no. It didn't break, it just popped out. Thankfully. Okay, so. Alrighty. The Flame Strike Cannon isn't going to sink the ship. So I have to sink it on the next turn, unfortunately. Now back to England. We do have a helmsman on the Apollo. So I think England can still get away, but they absolutely have to make their same action twice roll. So let's see if we get that. We need a 5 or a 6. If we do, we can get home. No, it's not enough. But we're going to try to run anyway. Just barely, not close enough to home. Okay. Aberdeen Baron is going to sail across to the other island. I don't think she'll beat the Libellule there. But there might be a chance to catch it and maybe even sink it. England is still in this game. Now France has some decisions to make. We're obviously not going to just let the HMS Apollo get home without a fight. So I think we're going to start by rolling for her extra action. Rolling a 6. Good, we got it. So now, I kind of don't necessarily want to be wasting this action moving and then getting farther away from the Aberdeen Baron because I may want to attack it. So I think I'm going to risk this. I do have a reroll. So if I miss, I can just reroll it. But I'm going to shoot with this main cannon going at the Apollo and try to sink it. And a 5 will sink the HMS Apollo. The Apollo disappears beneath the waves. And now my second action. I don't think we can get near close enough to the Baron to try anything. 1, 2, 3. If I go here, yeah, I think that's just barely out of range of my Flame Strike Cannon. So I think what I might have to do, I think I'm actually going to I think I'm going to risk the Whirlpool again. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3. I'm going to sail into the Whirlpool. And I'm going to come out like this. Let's roll and see what happens. I still have Godiva's reroll if this doesn't work. And we're good. It's a high number, so, and that completely ends my action. Libellule is going to sail straight over it. And now that I have the Conquerant over here, I might actually drop off a crew to load a treasure, and hopefully I can win that way. We still have the 4-1s over here. The Aberdeen Baron, now that it's England's turn. She can go home, drop off her meager holdings, but she has to fight for this treasure, I think. And if possible, she has to take out the Libellule if England's going to win this game. Because Libellule is probably carrying at least 8 treasure now. That's halfway to victory. But her options are kind of limited right now. She doesn't have the speed to make it to that fog bank. Conquerant is over there. I think what I'm going to have to do is probably sail to this side of the fog bank. Go for some cover. So what kind of range? Okay, Conquerant has some range to get over here. Plus another potential 3S for a second action. So I think my plan right now is just to sail this way and hopefully try to catch. No. I think as we sail over the whirlpool, I'm going to... The Aberdeen Baron is going to sit and wait. Because now Libellule has a choice to make. Once she collects that treasure, she either has to come back through the whirlpool or she has to sail the long way. Additionally, Conquerant, if she doesn't get a second action, if she wants to traverse that whirlpool, she will have to risk taking a salvo. Aberdeen Baron needs to roll to traverse the whirlpool, looking for 4, 5, or 6. And we got a 6, so we're good there. And that's it for England's turn. France is going to sail and explore this island. We found the last 3 and also a couple of 2s. So we're going to drop off one of these 2s, take the 3. That's going to put the Aberdeen, or the Libellule at 12 gold. Now, France has a decision to make too. We could go for broke, drop off a couple of treasures, a couple of crew for 2 more treasures, load those 2s. Or she can maintain her helmsman and her captain. Actually, what we could probably do is, I think I've got an idea. I think this is a good plan for France anyway. So I think France. First, France needs to roll for Conquerant. See if we can get a second action. That would be great if we can. So I think we got a 4. So we're going to re-roll that, see if we can get that second action. And it's another 4, so no. But because we already have an exclamation marker on this island now, I can dock and explore. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow my ship down just a little bit And I'm going to leave my fire shot and my helmsman on the island and take 2 of the 2s and just make a mad dash home with all that treasure. England's going to have to hunt down both of them. Of course, if the Libellule goes down, France's chances of winning significantly drop. But still, neither fleet has treasure on their home island yet. It can still be anyone's game. So, Aberdeen Baron is going to start patrolling the waters around this whirlpool, and I think I'm just good with that 2S move. Maybe I'll go for one more. Right now, she's just kind of waiting to see what France does. Now, France is going to check for a second action on the Conquerant. I think France's best chance of getting home might be to sail the long way. There's going to be a confrontation with the Aberdeen Baron, but what's the best way to approach this? Actually, Aberdeen Baron might be out of position if we can land here. So, let me see what our second action looks like. We do have a second action. Unfortunately, because I don't have a helmsman, I'm limited to here, but if I could have gotten in this turn, I could have popped out here and started attacking the Baron. But because I don't have a helmsman, I am going to still move through, but I'm going to pop out as far away as possible. Alright. Now, did I have to re-roll that? I think I did. No, I didn't. Okay. Now, because I didn't have to re-roll for my extra action, I can re-roll my whirlpool roll. Let's see what happens. We got a 2. I actually don't care. I'm gonna toss my oarsman. So the oarsman is gonna get tossed overboard to go through the whirlpool. Libellule is also going to go into the whirlpool, again, as far away as possible. Trying to get as much protection from by the Conquerant as possible. All right, let's see if we lose anything. We do. I've explored all the islands with treasure, so I don't need this explorer anymore. So that explorer is going to fall off the ship as we travel through the whirlpool. Okay. Aberdeen Baron for England has to chase down these 2 ships. There's nothing she can do if she doesn't take down at least one of them. And her best bet there's more treasure on board the Libellule, but the Conquerant will be easier to take down. And because she lost her oarsman, if I can dismast her, Libellule has to go around the Conquerant in order to do anything. So I think that's going to help with the decision. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to move. We're going to try to get as close as possible. Unfortunately, I can't get any closer than this. So let's see what we got. We have one cannon here, one cannon. This cannon can only see the Libellule, so we'll go there. So I'm going to reveal Trevor Van Tyne on the Aberdeen Baron. Aberdeen, this is the Musketeer version. So I've got another 3S cannon that I can shoot from any mast, and I'm going to shoot it from the front. So both of these cannons are looking for 4s. I'm going to roll both. If I can derelict this ship, I'll be in a good position. Oh, 4 and a 5. Yes! That is a derelict French bombardier. Okay, and now that's a lot closer. There we go, just like that. Okay, and now we've got our final shot going to Libellule. Now this is a rank 4 cannon, so I need a 5 or a 6. My odds of hitting this are not as good. That's a 1. So that's going to be it for England. England can't do anything else. It is France's turn. France is going to attempt to scuttle the Conquerant. Let's see if she can do it. No, doesn't get scuttled. But she is going to run as fast as possible with the Libellule. Oof, that did not balance very well. Okay, we're going to run as fast as possible with Libellule. And she might even be able to get home this turn. Not quite, but if the Baron wants to get to her, she might have to brave the reef. And I think brave the reef is what she might do. Well, I think I can slip in there. Better position might be to try to pull up alongside, but I don't think I'm going to risk it. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I've got all of my cannons in range of the flag. Whew. Which is interesting in this game because the flag is a targetable piece of the ship's silhouette. So I have all 6 cannons in range of this ship, just barely. If I can sink this, I think I would win. No, I wouldn't win with most points in play because I only have 17. All right. Okay, let me roll my 3s first. Looking for 4s. Okay, I got 1 hit. So we're currently going 1 for 2. And then I've got my 4s. We'll roll 2 of my 4s. Looking for 5s on these. Okay, that's 2 for 4. I'm going to roll these one at a time now because if I can sink that, I can also try to sink the Conquerant and just straight up win because I have the most points in play. Okay, so looking for a 5, going toward the Libellule. No. 1 more. Come on, give me that 5. Yes. Okay, Libellule is sunk, but we split the treasure. It gets split as evenly as possible. So I get 6 here and 6 here to the French. Now, France is unable to give a move action to any of their ships. So the game ends here. We both have 6 gold on our islands. Alright. So because we have the same amount of treasure on our home islands, we break the tie first by looking at the most remaining units in play. A unit is defined as any game piece that can be directly given at least one of the 4 primary actions. This includes ships, sea creatures, flotillas, forts, and crew with the marine keyword, but it does not include events, treasure, or non-marine crew. If both players have an equal amount of gold and an equal number of units, they may use any mutually agreed upon method to break the tie, such as masts eliminated, masts remaining, etc. If a player completely eliminates an opposing player's fleet, they do not automatically win and do not automatically get any uncollected gold remaining in play. However, that will trigger endgame condition 3. All players agree to use the optional... Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm going to rule this as England winning this game. Simply on the fact that, 1, a derelict cannot be given an action. England has the only quote-unquote unit in play because it can still be given an action while the Conquerant can't. But I would also rule that England wins by having the most masts remaining. So, English victory. This is one of the rare times I've actually seen a game won strictly by combat. I think I could have played the fleets a little better, made some better decisions. Probably thought through some decisions a little bit more. But all in all, I had fun with this one. And I'm looking forward to making more videos of games like this. I feel like the terrain might have really played a role in this game that doesn't often get seen just because of how small it is and the distances at which it gets placed. But when you play with a lot like I do, and you try to place them around the island, I think it tends to play a little bit more of a role in this game. But that was Pirates of the Cursed Seas Pocket Model game. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Remember to like, subscribe, and share.